they do kettle corn over there or like butter, like regular popcorn?
Regular popcorn is good.
Regular popcorn, do you like butternut?
Yeah.
Yeah? Like if you stop by over there sometime and I'm working, or I'll let it go on the clock before I go on the clock, sometimes I get popcorn. So
Good to know. What's up with it? Yeah, there's a lot of guys out here that's been isolated for way too long, and their mind is gone, bro. That's what happens when you're isolated for so long. You know, I was just about to talk about this one dude that I know right now, man, that's out here, and his mind is gone too. He's been isolated for a very long time. He says the government is out to kill him, and you know, talking about he was molested when he was little and shit. I'm like, bro, you gotta keep some of that stuff to yourself. I don't want to know that, bro. For real, you shared too much goddamn info, bro. You know, a lot of guys have lost touch. Like you said, a lot of guys have lost touch with reality. These guys won't procreate. I'm telling you, bro. They'll never have families, man. Like some guys are done. Like this guy that I'm talking about, he's like 52 or 53, and he doesn't have children. Stamp a fork on that bitch. It's done, bro. You know, it's done with him. He ain't having no kids. You know, done for it. If you ain't on the grind, you ain't getting no money nowadays in America, you better be a Chad or a Tyrone or a Pookie or a Ray Ray. That's the only way you gonna get some kids. Cause then, if you a Pookie, it increases your chances of having children. If you a Chad or a Tyrone, you know, uh, it increases your chances of having children. You know, you pass your genetics with ease, with no struggle. But if you're the average guy at average height, you're gonna have some problems nowadays, especially if you're 5'4". Like I said, this guy that's been camping by me, he's been talking about the government out to get him, and start talking about P. Diddy. And he was. I was like, bruh, how do you know P. Diddy, bruh? You know what I'm saying? You know. And I'm like, oh yeah, he's cooked. He's done. He won't procreate, man. He won't have any children. He's already 52, and he's not on the grind. So yeah, his genetics in with him, and he's 6 foot. He's 6 foot. You know what I'm saying? He's a big dude, man. He bigger than me. You know what I'm saying? Some of these guys are cooked, bro. You know, they cooked in the head. So just like he didn't succeed, he's done mentally. You know, he's done in the head, bro. There's no going back. There's no coming back from that, bro. Once you done lost it upstairs, it's a done deal, bro. You feel me? You know, he said a pook roan. A pook roan. uh, that's what I'm saying, man. If you're not one of those, you're gonna have some problems. If you ain't no Pookie, you're gonna have some problems. These dudes procreate with ease, bro. You know, uh, Chaz and Tyrone's, you know, they procreate with ease. So some dudes actually had to go out and get the bag in order to procreate. Like me, you know, for me to have a huge family, for me to have a family, period, bro, I gotta go out and get the bag. You know, you know what I'm saying? To increase my chances. Now I could probably still have children if I meet the right chick or whatever. But to increase my chances of having a family, when I mean increase, I mean really increase your chances to the point where like you got a choice, you know, have kids or not have kids, you know. You got to go out and get the bag to increase your chances of having a family. You feel me? You know. You know. I kept telling that guy, man, I don't want to hear all that stuff that he be talking, bro. It's getting on my nerves. Hello, how you doing? You know, I don't want to hear all that crap that he like. Look, bro, you talking about the government and this and that, and the CIA. And I'm like, bro, you are not that important for the government to come after you, man. The guy that be camping next to me, bro, I just walk away because I don't even want to hear what he's talking about. It's like, bro, you sound crazy, man. you know, you know, he's not gonna procreate. He's done. Uh, some dudes won't have families, man. Not, you know what? Every single man is not gonna be able to have a family, uh, especially here in the West. I think if you lived in another country, it'll be a lot easier for you to have a family. You know, have kids and stuff. But out here in the West, they done made it so competitive that women are becoming more picky and choosy as years go by, who they want to procreate with, who they want to bear, what man they want to bear children with. You know, if you a guy in your 30s or 40s and you ain't on the bag chase, it's not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm keep increasing my chances by chasing this bag and you know, going on a diet. You know, you feel me? Try to lean up a little bit and see what that does. But now women nowadays, and they're not. And another thing, women are not settling down with just any old man nowadays either, like they used to. You know, if you're not a Pookie or a Ray Ray, you got to have the bag. Pookie and Ray Rays don't have to have the bag to have children. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's a plus if they do, but it's just like some guys are not going to be able to experience fatherhood, which is a crying shame. You know, I think every man should experience that, be able to procreate, but some motherfuckers are going to get lost in the dust. They're going to get lost in the dust, man. You know, some women don't want to procreate with these men. You know, and then another thing, men who are retarded. I be seeing retarded buses around here and shit. Men who got disabilities. You know what I'm saying? They're done. You know. You know. My dad was 6'4", Yeah, difference maker. Yeah, yeah. Dudes who are super tall, they got a better chance at becoming fathers and stuff. Like my dad was 6 foot, so if he was my height, it would have been a little bit tougher. 5'9", yeah. 5'9" is a little bit tougher to have children. I don't care what you say, man. Yeah. Height, it makes a whole, it makes a complete difference. You know, height, man. If I was 6'2", I would have had children by now, because I would have been more desirable. You know, I would have been more desirable, and I would have been having more women in my life and shit. So it would have happened already. But my height has always been my burden, man. 6 foot, 5'9" is my height. So that always worked against me, man. Especially when I put on weight. I'm 5'9" and I'm fat, man. That's a double whammy right there, boy. You got two things working against you. Your height and your weight. Because the shorter you are, the more it becomes about your face. You know? That's why you can't afford to put on weight. When you but I'm about to get in here and get me some food right now though. I'm hungry. What's up, boss? Yeah, give me 2 slices. Yeah? Oh, yeah. No more pepper? Oh, that's sick. Only cheese, huh? Okay.
That's good.
I'm about to say.
That's it? Thank you.
Thank you, man.
I love it.
You too, bud. I noticed when I put on weight, females want to have nothing to do with me. So, but I'm gonna eat some pizza now though. Hungry. Well, I work out, so whatever. I'm supposed to be on a diet, goddammit, after Halloween. But I'm gonna eat something right now, and then we're gonna work out later. You feel what I'm saying? So, some dudes won't be able to do that, man. You know what I'm saying? Some dudes won't be able to have a family and stuff. I'm 45, and I'm like, God damn, starting a family, once I get the bag down the stretch, it's gonna be a little challenging being an older dad and shit. I'm gonna be a grandpa dad if I start having children, around this age, man. By the time my kids get to be 20, I'll be 60. Or most of my kids get to be 15, I'll be 60, I mean. Put the pizza down, I can't help it, man. I'm sorry. I'm still trying to recover from a hangover from last night. I was drunk for Halloween. So I need something to replenish. And this pizza tastes good when you hungover. What's up with it, Major Generals? Hey, I'm gonna work out. Don't worry. Don't worry, baby. Telling you, bro. Some men won't be able to do that. You know? And me myself, I'm like, the older I get, the more tougher it's gonna get to do it, because you need a young woman to do it, you know, to have children. So the older I get, the harder it's gonna get for me to find a young female that's gonna, you know, do it. But the bag is gonna help a whole lot. You feel me? Like he needs to see he's done. If he doesn't get the money, he's done. Short ball guy, he's done if you don't get the money. You notice that he ain't talking about that female he went out on a date with. It was a flop, I told you. Women are very picky here in the West. That's another reason why men won't have children. Women have become way more pickier than before. Because they got the internet, bro. They got dating apps. They got social media. I mean, when you think about it, if there wasn't no social media, I would have been had a kid by now, guaranteed. We kind of crave this shit, bro. We're in the like. We're in the best country in the world, so there's pros and cons to that. Meaning there's going to be way more competitive for women. When you're in a first world country, it's going to be way more competitive. In third world country, it ain't that competitive out there, man. You know? Because of technology, bro. That's what's causing this craziness with the dating. That's why dating is so screwed up, because of technology. It's allowing women to be picky. You know what I'm saying? You got anything wrong with you, bro, it's your history. If you ain't tall, if you're not Chad or Tyrone or Pookie, you're gonna have a hard time reproducing yourself. You feel me? Like, to me, bro, I'm invisible to certain women because of my height. I'm not 6 foot or more, you know what I'm saying? So that cut my chances in half right there. Like, if you're under 6 foot, it's gonna be a lot tougher to procreate, to have a family and stuff. You feel me? So your height works against you, bro, if you're under 6 foot. That's why it's better to be swole and fit, man. All men under 6 foot, you want to increase your chances of getting laid and getting a family, just having access to sex, period, you gotta work out. You gotta be in shape if you're under 6 feet tall. Now, if you're under 5'5", then, or even 5'6" or whatever, that's not gonna work. Working out ain't gonna do nothing for you. Some men have to get money in order to procreate. For example, Kevin Hart. He wasn't gonna have no children, man, if he didn't get out there and become Kevin Hart. He'd still be fatherless right now. Matter of fact, Kevin Hart would have been an incel. I ain't joking. You know, he would have been an incel if he didn't get that money, man. You feel me? You know. Yeah, we definitely got to go on a diet after this, man. We're going to have a healthy lunch, though. He's 5'10". My mother was 5'2", yeah. Yeah. Your height makes a difference and it affects your dating life. That's why 5'4" guy has been going on 10-year droughts. And he's skinny. Short ball guy. Done for. It's over even before it began. If you're over 6'4", I mean, if you're over 6 foot, you're more desirable. I'll put it that way. If you're under 6 feet tall, you're invisible to a lot of women. So that, like I said, it cuts your chances in half. I mean, you're not gonna be that desirable to women unless you're a Chad Rome or something, or a Tyrone, or a Chad. Now, you're under 6 feet tall, you're handsome, like me. Women gonna give you a pass. I remember showing up on a date, man, with that fat chick. And she was like, you're not 5'10". You're 5'8". I lied on the date nap saying I was 5'10". But really I'm 5'9". She thought I was 5'8". You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna struggle because of your height. That's why dudes under 6 feet tall gotta have accomplishments, bro. You can't afford to like be broke or not have your finances together. Yeah, you gotta have a bag. All men do. I do good with the shorty pads. I do good with them. Okay, let's get up out of here, man. I mean, if I get with the shorty pants, my kids are gonna be shorter than me. Feel me? Continue that short gene. You know what I mean? So if I have a son, he's gonna be shorter than me. He's gonna be 5'6" and shit. If I decide not to get the bag and I have children, I'm gonna end up popping out a 5'6" guy. I don't want to do that. Shorty pants are dangerous, man, because they're cute, good looking. They just don't got the height. I don't want to continue the average or even the short gene, you know. Gotta curse my son, man. You know what I'm saying? Get a female that's around my height, and everything will be good, man. It's possible. You can get a woman around your height, even without the bag. You can. You know what I'm saying? I mean, some females find me handsome, still at my age, but that's getting lesser and lesser, man, as the years go by. You know, more wrinkles and gray hairs popping up. It ain't getting better. It's getting worse with looks and stuff. I mean, you know. So some guys are not going to be able to see a family or have any children. It's just, you know, some guys ain't got that fight in them like that. You feel what I'm saying? You know, a fighter, he gonna get resources, he gonna become successful, he gonna get money. He not gonna be broke, stuff like that. But a lot of guys are not fighters, man. They lay back and let the years go by and say, fuck it, I give up and shit. You know, some motherfuckers are not fighters. Not all men are born to fight. I noticed that. You can't put fight inside a lot of motherfuckers. Either their parents don't fuck them up, or they done did something, you know. Let's go in here real quick and get an energy drink. Sorry guys, I need my energy drink. I know I'm not supposed to have it, but I need it right now. Some guys are not gonna be able to get that life that a lot of other guys like I have, you know. And he be walking around, you be seeing them too. You know. Shit, I forgot something. You feel me? Okay, we got enough now. Thought I didn't have enough. What's up, man? Good, dude.
That's all, bro?
That's it, brother. $3.50. $1. Got just enough.
Thank
Thank you. You know, I think it all starts with the parents. I say that all the time. You know, your parents are supposed to get you ready from birth to compete so you can pass on your genetics without struggle. I mean, I had chances to procreate. I was with the wrong woman for like 12 years. That woman had no intention in procreating with me, bro. The whole entire time. That's why she plugged herself up. And I should have left her when she did that. But I was so young and stupid that sometimes, you know, when I was younger, I didn't know whether or not to leave her or stay with her. Matter of fact, yeah. I knew to stay with her. That was it. You know. I should have left when I was younger. You know, when I still had a lot more looks and youth in me. I shouldn't have been with her for that long. Especially if you're not procreating and you want children and she doesn't. But she acting like she does, you know, stringing you along and shit. In your head, you're thinking like, damn, when I get my shit together, we can have children and stuff. But she's already 40, I mean, she's already 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. So what are you gonna do with that, bro? She already had Chad's friend. I mean, she already had 6 foot Chad's kid already. You know, she had a kid with him, but she ain't gonna have a kid with you. I'd leave, man. I should have just left. Back when I was in my 20s, I should have had never ever been in that relationship for so long. I regret being in that relationship for 12 years, man. The moment she said, you know, the moment she plugged herself up, you should have been gone. What I mean by, you know, plugging herself up, is like she used that diaphragm to plug herself up so she wouldn't get pregnant. And we could still have sex unprotected, but she still got that diaphragm. And I could tell, man, I could feel it, you know. When I stuck my dick in there, I could feel the little stringy thing that was attached to it, you know what I'm saying? You know. So she got herself plugged up, so, you know, basically a birth control, basically, you know. Yeah, she played me to the left, yeah, exactly. I didn't know, man, I was very young, 26, 27 years old, man. She played my ass and wasted my time. But now that I'm gotten older and got life experience, now I see that this woman had no intention to have children with me. No intention. That's why she plugged herself up. Unless I had my music career took off or something, then she'll unplug herself. You know, that's how women are. So she could get child support when we break up. I should have been left that relationship. I should have moved on to a younger chick, and I did. When I went behind her back, I was messing with younger women with bigger asses and stuff. Something not really wanted, you know? You feel me? I got replenished, man. I was drunk last night, man. On Halloween. We definitely not drinking tonight, though. I'm telling you, bro. You know, I should have read the writing on the wall, man. And just walked away. Cause that took a lot of my youth away. You know, just being with her for that long. But then at the same time, it wasn't like I at the time, I don't know, man. What I know is that if let's put it this way, if I would have been able to replace her with a younger and more fertile chick, I would have, you know. I would have replaced her, bro. You know. But at the time, I was struggling trying to find a replacement. The dating market had gotten real competitive while I was in the relationship. You know, we ended the relationship once in 2012. That was the year of the iPhone. That's when the iPhone came out. You feel me? You know, that was the year of the iPhone, and you know, and that should have been ended. I should have never had like moved in with her. I regret moving in with that bitch the second time. Never take a woman back. Once you break up for good, man. You don't get back into a relationship with her. I learned that the hard way. Yeah, I'm gonna get a tall bitch. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do, man. Yeah, I ain't gonna get no shorty pants. Cause some of these shorty pants are pretty and stuff. They tempting, but no, we gotta say no's. If you want taller children, you gotta get a taller woman. At least 5'7". You know, around that height. You know what I'm saying? But the bag will help you get that. Because women, they ain't gonna be tripping off your height if you got the bag. You know, they kind of give motherfuckers passes. I mean, they gave Kevin Hart a pass. And Kevin Hart is 5'4". So he got a pass because he got that bag. That's why I say the bag makes it easier with women. And it makes life easier too, man. You ain't struggling for money and stuff all the time. You got a comfortable way of living. You know. Yeah, the best thing, yeah, exactly, Ranger Rick. The best thing parents can do for their children is give them good genes, yeah. Because life is easier when you got good genes, man. Why do you think I want to get with a bitch that's above my looks level? Because my kids will be blessed with good genes. You got access to better genes, man. You know? Yeah, exactly. Ranger Rick. You feel me? That's what you got to do, man. Get a woman with some good genes. But first, we got to get this bag so we can increase our chances in having children. Because I feel like that's going to make things easier in life to have children when your financial thing is taken care of, you know? I still want to have children even though I'm 45. And that's still going to take some time, bro. I think to be honest, even let's say I get the bag like this year, it's still gonna take me a few more years to date right? Because finding the right female to be with, that's gonna take some time. So I probably won't be able to have kids until I'm 47. You know, and another thing, you gotta wait for your investments to come in, right? You make an investment, you gotta wait for it to come out. That's gonna take time, you know. You know. You know, that's why it's good to get with a female that's an 8, 9, or a 10. You know, at least an 8, you know. You give your kids good genes. Your son won't be short. Hell, my nephew, he's taller than both his mom and his dad. My nephew, he's 6'1". He just grew another inch in 1 year. You know, he was 17. He was 6 foot at 17. And you know, and then when he turned 18, he was 6'1". You feel me? So he's 6'1". They asked him, where you get the height from? Well, my dad was 6 foot, and some of his brothers were 6 foot. My Uncle Lonnie was 6 foot. They got the 6 foot gene. It missed me. Because my mother was short. My mother had the short gene, bro. Like your mother, you say, your mother was 5'2". Yeah, my mother was around that height too, man. Like 5'3", something like that, 5'4". My dad was 6 foot. I got caught in the middle, 5'9". If you 5'9", you gotta be checking for a tall bitch, bro. My dad did it. He had another kid with a female that was 6 foot plus. I think he got with a female that was 6'2", and my dad is 6 foot. You know, and then they had a baby named it Aaron. I got a half brother named Aaron. He tall, man. He big. He's well over 6 foot. So it's all about selecting the right female for the right genes. You gotta X out the shorty pants, bro. You can have sex with those, but don't procreate. The short gene is real with them. You'll end up creating a 5'4" dude. You know what I'm saying? You know, like short bald guy. You'll end up creating like one of those. That's hella short. Don't do that to your children, man. Because then they gotta live all 80 years on earth being short. If it's a female, it ain't gonna make a difference. But man, and you done got with a female that's 5 foot, and you 5'9", that kid gonna be 5'5", bro. You know? Female that's an inch taller than you, yeah, keep on knocking at the door, bro. Especially if there's some interest, we could pull it off. Just keep knocking at the door. Keep working her down, you know. Especially if she smiles at you. Any woman that smiles at you, bro, you can work on that. You know? We're trying to be strategic, man, so we can have taller children. I want tall children. I want children at least my height, and at least that. You gotta give them at least average height. You know, at least that. Nothing shorter than 5'9", bro. Like, nah. You 5'9", get a female that's 5'7", 5'8", or even your height, 5'9", so we can have taller children. You know what I mean? You know, somebody on her family side might have been tall. That's the reason why she's tall. So you got access to tall tall jeans, man. Yeah, you don't want to do that. Mental health issues. Yeah, you don't want to do that. Don't get with no crazy bitch, bro. No, you don't want no crazy bitch jeans, bro. You feel me? You don't want to do that. Please don't do that. You know, somebody on antidepressant meds, no crazy girl. Yeah, you don't want that. That's what happened to Certified Stalker. Certified Stalker was on the meds, bro. She was on crazy meds. You know. Wait. Hey, watch out, bro. Come on, man. You almost hit me, bro. Pay attention, bro. And check that medicine cabinet. Yep, you gotta go in there and check it. When you go to our house, go in there and check the medicine. Yeah, ask can I use the bathroom and go inside the medicine cabinet, bro. You see all kinds of prescription drugs and shit like that. You gotta get the hell out of there, man. You gotta bail out because you can become a stalker, bro. That's how Certified Stalker was, bro. That bitch was crazy. Certified Stalker was crazy, bro. She was even one time when I was talking to her, that bitch was leaning. She looked like she was on some prescription drugs or something. And that bitch was trembling and shaking. And I was like, this bitch is out of her fucking goddamn mind, bro. Don't get involved with those women, bro. They'll kill you, man. Literally. And that ain't no joke. They'll kill you. You know? My thing is get the bag and everything will be a lot easier, man. You know. Some of these guys out here got the crazy gene out here, man. You know. Like the dude that camped by me, boy, he crazy, bro. He talking about the government after him. And he worked at the hospital, and I was like, bro, what hospital you worked at, bro? You got any certificates? Were you a doctor? No, man, but I was good with people. He hired me at the hospital. I was like, this nigga lying, and he crazy, and he's never gonna procreate. He's done. Nobody wants a crazy gene, bro. No female's gonna have babies with him. He's 52, yeah, he's done. His genes go with him, man. You know, some guys, their genes are gonna go with them. Some guys' genes will be eliminated from the earth. You know what I'm saying? Some guys' genes are gonna be, you know, deleted from the earth, man. And so a lot of these guys are gonna end up getting old and long. Oh man, I just thought about that. Ooh, we gotta start having children soon. Hurry up and get that bag. Hurry up and get that bag, bro. You feel me? Cause getting old and alone is gonna fucking suck, bro. That means you're gonna have to move around on your own. And if you get really old, like around 80, 85, 90, you're gonna be by yourself, man. You see what I'm saying? And it sucks. The aging process sucks. you think in your head like, God damn, I used to be so goddamn handsome. My nose used to be smaller. My nose used to be smaller. My ears used to be smaller. I used to have better looking skin. Now I gotta buy stuff for my skin. You hear what I'm saying? I can't get women as easy as I used to get it. It has gotten harder throughout the years to get women. You know, you're not that young buck anymore. And that's what sucks about aging. That everything gets harder, including getting with females. So when you're young, man, you get women just like that. Snap, 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 with the snap of your finger. You hit 30, it start getting harder. You hit 40, it's even harder than 30. You hit 50, it's gonna be even harder than 50. Shit, it's gonna keep on getting harder. Especially getting young females. And those are the ones you want to bear your children with. It's gonna get harder every single year that goes by. And we can't stop the aging process, bro. It's part of life. Meaning that you're not supposed to be here forever. That's what it is. You got 80 years on this earth if you take care of your body. To be honest, I don't want to live to be that old. I don't want to live to be 80. It's like, maybe I could. Depends on my health. But who wants to live that old though with all the wrinkles? You start wrinkling up, man. And then you start becoming more and more invisible to young females. That's sucking right there. Because you still like them young women, bro. I don't care what nobody say. You still like them 25-year-old women. You know, you still like them, shit, you like them 18, 19, 20-year-old women. You know? Your eyes don't change throughout the years. You know? The fact you're getting older, you're getting wrinkles, you got gray hair coming in. You know what I'm saying? Then you become more and more invisible. It's like you're slowly fading. Slowly disappearing and shit. You know what I'm saying? You know. It's like, am I still here? I'm fading. I'm disappearing. You know? It's like in your 30s, you're like you're still visible to young females, right? But it's like you start to fade. Your body is like fading, like a ghost. You know, in 40s you get more invisible. 50s you're completely almost invisible. In 60s you're invisible. It's like you're walking around, bro, and they don't see you. You're like a ghost basically walking around through life. That's how it is for sub-5 men, I heard. Sub-5 men say it's like coasting through life, being invisible to everybody. That's what sub-5 means. You know, the guy who sub. That's why I was listening to the incel cartoons and stuff. But some of the stuff is funny, and some of the shit is depressing, right? But they said what it is to be sub-5, it's like coasting through life, being invisible to everybody. That's how it's gonna be when you get old, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you don't have money or status, you're just gonna walk around being invisible to all females, even to like older females. You know, you don't really want them, man. A lot of guys, you know, they don't even want women around their own age. Like me, I don't want females around my own age, man. You know, that's why if I can attract a young female, you feel me, then I'll go ahead and go with that. And then you get labeled as a creep. The older you get, the more creepier you get. You know, it's like you walking around, it's like you don't matter anymore. This is the stories I hear from like dudes in their 60s and shit. Like they're being forgotten about by society, man. You know, When you're young, you're visible. You get older, the older you get, the more invisible you become. You know? You know? Thailand, yeah, you're visible there, man, because women care about stability more than looks in Thailand. They care less what you look. They can care less about what you look like. You know, if you got stability, you feel me? Then they'll roll with you, man. Over the young guy who's buff and good looking and shit, they'll choose you over him. You know. You know what I'm saying? You know. That's why I say get that stability up, bro. Get that money up. And you can go to these countries and probably get married and have children and stuff, man. It's all about having family at this point, man. Nobody wants to end up old and alone by themselves. That's what happens when you don't have children. And a lot of guys, a lot of people in general have gotten to be old and without children, and they regret it. They're like, God damn, I had my chance to have children when I was young. Now it's too late. Now I'm in this old folks home. You feel me? You know, ain't nobody coming to see me. Ain't nobody checking up on me. You know, I'm just a done deal. You know what I'm saying? You know. Anyway, I'm gonna end this live. You guys have a good day. I'm out. Peace.